deconstruct, to undo the construction of, to
Yeah,
take the
getting
piece
this
is
away from the idea of the metaphysics of presence, where we have, where we have this idea where we need to understand what's going on around us immediately.
and for the notion of translation, we would have to substitute the notion of transformation, or regulated transformation of one language by another, of one text by another.
Deconstruction in architecture really came about after the whole modernist thing.
We never will have, and in fact never have had, a transport of pure signifies from one language to another, or within one and the same language, that the signifying instrument would leave virgin and untouched.
A new way of representing, more like French philosophy and works of Derrida and Deleuze. And so deconstructionism started to break away from the box and destroying the idea that everything had to be rectilinear, everything had to be the same, everything had to be normal. Reached a point where it was kind of like, what else is there to do when you build a box a million times? Through breaking away from this traditional notion that we need to get our knowledge immediately instead of over time, and the idea that we don't have to necessarily be given it, but we can learn from what we're doing. And then people started looking at the idea of, and maybe not necessarily as straightforward to look at or comprehend at the first go around, but in the end maybe gives us something more long-lasting, more interesting. And the idea that we have to break away from this historical idea of, this is Mies, and the idea that form follows function and that materials should be expressed in the way they're used, instead of having this idea of absence or something taking time. Instead of immediate knowledge, we have something that's maybe more complex, maybe more difficult to understand,